Hello, everyone. This is Calvin Russell, CEO and founder of 850 Club Credit Consultation. Hope everyone's doing well today. Today, we're going to talk about how you can get approved for a loan if you are an entrepreneur or if you're self-employed. All right, let's go straight into it. So we all know that there's different types of loans out there: personal loans, auto loans, mortgage loans. Not sure if you want to get a student loan, right? I don't know if anyone's in a rush to get a student loan if they're self-employed. However, every category of these loans essentially are going to make things a little bit easier, and some are going to make things a lot more difficult. But it really depends on what type of loan you're trying to get. Let's start off with the one that I think is the least favorite, and that's going to be student loans. Okay, with student loans, they're probably not going to ask for much. It just really depends. If you show that you have a certain amount of income coming in, or whatever your revenue is per month, if you're self-employed, if you're an entrepreneur, I really don't see people get denied for student loans. It's extremely rare. Financial aid seems to be available for everybody, so of course I've been to school in years, but from what I'm seeing on credit reports and what I'm hearing from my clients is that not much has changed. They're still saying yes to everybody. Okay. So they're going to still ask for your income and things of that sort. Obviously, they would like to see at least $12 an hour, per income, which is, of course, which equals, right? You guys know what I'm trying to say, right? That comes out to about $24,000 a year. But in the grand scheme of things, when you think about it, when you went to school originally, when you were like fresh out of high school, not everybody had to get a Parent Plus loan because not everybody's parents were that involved in their lives. I know everybody's situation is different, but my parents were not on. There was no Parent Plus loan. However, I knew a lot of my friends, their parents had Parent Plus loans, but people didn't qualify for stuff like that. So they just gave you the money and you had a refund check. So either way, long story short, it's very easy to get a student loan. All right, let's go into I would say the next kind of least favorites is probably going to be a mortgage loan, right? Now, I know a lot of people do have the goals and aspirations to one day own property, right? However, we kind of talked about this. I made a separate video specifically for this, but I just want to make this the quick version. The short version is if you're looking to get a mortgage loan, if you're self-employed or you're an entrepreneur, they're going to be looking for 2 years of tax returns. All right. Now, if you don't have 2 years of tax returns, that's okay. But they're going to be at least looking for 12 to 24 months of bank statements, and they're going to use that as your revenue. That's part one. Part two, you got to put down 10%. Okay, so you got two options. You either got to put down, you're either going to have to, go the regular down payment. The regular down payment, like for example, FHA is 3.5%. Conventional, you got 3 and 5 and 10, and so on and so forth. If you have 24 months of of your taxes being paid, keep in mind they're also going to look at your line 31 Schedule C, your net income. So that's the income that you really told the IRS that you made. Now, that's also going to put you in a position where you're probably going to have a tax liability. Okay, so that means that if you have a tax liability, you either have to pay it in full to get pre-approved, or you have to be on a payment plan for 3 months, and then you'll get the pre-approval. Okay, but again, this is assuming you have those 24 months of that reported income. Actually 2 years tax returns, really 2 years tax returns, and of reported income. Otherwise, if you don't have those 2 year tax returns, then they're going to go mainly by your bank statements, about 12 to 24 bank statements, and you got to put down 10%. Okay, so that's essentially how you do it with if you are a self-employed entrepreneur trying to get a mortgage loan. Let's go to the next one, an auto loan. Okay, auto loans can be really easy. Very rarely will they ask for a lot of documentation. If you are self-employed and your score is over 6, I think the threshold is about 640. If you're 640 and above, and you're self-employed, they're really not even going to ask for proof of income, to be honest with you, unless you recently had a repossession. Okay, then they will kind of go into bank statements. They rarely go into tax returns when you're buying a vehicle. Well, let me kind of go into some numbers. If you're buying a vehicle under 50,000, if you're going above 50,000, they're probably going to dig a little bit deeper, but they're going to start off with your credit score. Everything's going to start off with your credit score. Now, if your credit score is under 640, maybe if you're lucky, under 620. Not lucky to have a lower score, but lucky if the dealership, is not really tripping if you're a 625, 630, and they're not really asking for income verification. Most dealerships, well, not really dealerships, but most auto lenders, because that's who really makes the decision and who's giving you the loan, they usually don't actually even proof of income unless your credit score is like under 620, under 640. then at that point, they're going to start looking at, tax returns. It's rare that they even ask for tax returns, mainly bank statements, okay, if you're self-employed. So that's pretty much it, guys. Improve your credit score to do that. Now, the last one is going to be personal loans, okay? I say this one for last just because this is probably what a lot of entrepreneurs are going to be looking for, especially if things start to get a little shaky in their businesses. Now, granted, you got the SBA loans and things of that sort, but some people may not qualify for that, right? So a personal loan, how do you qualify for a personal loan if you're self-employed, if you're an entrepreneur? They're going to be heavy on the bank statements, okay? Because they need to see what type of real revenue you have coming in. Now, as entrepreneurs, a lot of times we're using a lot of different softwares and we're trying to reduce expenses. So it's very common for a lot of people to be getting payments through Zelle, QuickPay, Cash App, all these different types of things that don't really have the best, paper trail. However, if you have a business account, right? Because you have your personal account, you may have a savings account, but if you have your business account, some business accounts, that's a whole nother video. A lot of business accounts are, staying away from Zelle payments and stuff like that. We'll make that another video because that's actually worthy of a whole video within itself. That said, you at least need to have some type of invoicing software, credit card processor, automated credit card processor, probably something with Squarespace or there's PayPal. There's 1,000 different platforms that are out there. You need to have it where you are doing merchant services, right? And that's essentially what that is. You are a merchant. You're providing hair braiding, you're selling products online, you're providing services, whatever you're doing, but you need to have a trail of that, okay? When people pay you cash and all through other these quick cash delivery type things, like I mentioned with QuickPay and Cash App and stuff like that, it's not a bad thing. It's just not as consistent, okay? However, if that's the only way you kind of get money and they're seeing a flow of that, they're not going to give you a difficult time. However, they may look at your tax returns, okay? The great thing about personal loans is that you can get pre-approved just by giving them some of your information without having them do a hard pull. That's what I love about it. However, you got to make sure you're not playing around on the income. You got to be real with them, okay? Especially if you want that personal loan. And when they call you, because I know the spam calls are at an all-time high. However, if you're applying for a personal loan, you more than likely will get a phone call or some type of verification. Send them what they need. Don't play around, okay? Because you have no idea who their underwriting team is, and a lot of places use the same underwriting staff, okay? So you just never know. So I'm saying that if you lie about your income and you get denied, you end up calling someone else, but they also use web bank because a lot of places use web bank, and you probably don't even know that. And so they're making the decision. They're like, this clown just told us that they did XYZ at this other place, or their underwriting team may be Synchrony Bank. Either way, just be honest with them. The income you're going to need more than likely is going to be at least 24 to 32,000. That's pretty standard, So of course, more revenue is most definitely going to help depending on how much of a personal loan you're looking for. Okay, so that's all the loans and how you get approved for them and what you need to have in place. Again, the easiest way is more than likely going to have the higher score. So higher scores, 650 and above is most definitely going to help. 700 is most definitely ideal. But sometimes people have certain balances they're carrying or certain mistakes in the past that are still on their credit reports and things of that sort. So that plays a major role as well. If you like this video, like it. You want to share it. And as always, be sure to subscribe as we have nothing but great content on the way. Thank you all so much. Have a great day.